Ladies and gentlemen, deities and devotees, gather round because today we're diving deep into the life and times of one of the most interesting, eccentric, and brilliantly rebellious goddesses of all time, Matangi, the Hindu goddess of inner knowledge, art, wisdom, and believe it or not, pure sass. Oh yes, Matangi, also known as the outcast goddess or the tantric Saraswati. You might think, well, what does that mean? Buckle up, because Matangi's story is like a spicy dish of wisdom garnished with humor and sprinkled with a dash of rule-breaking charm. Once upon a time, in the vast, intricate pantheon of Hindu deities, there emerged a goddess who wasn't about the high society life of pristine rituals or fancy temples. Matangi is said to be the daughter of sage Matanga, a hermit who had zero time for elitist attitudes. She embodies the idea of transcending societal norms and embraces the world of outcasts, artists, and those who don't fit into neat little boxes. If you're a misfit with a creative flair, Matangi is your patron goddess. In fact, she's often associated with those who exist outside the norm: musicians, poets, storytellers, and, let's just say, people who live life with a dash of unpredictability. Now let's talk fashion. Matangi is all about that lush, green attire, symbolizing growth, creativity, and nature's wild wisdom. In her hands, she carries a veena. No, it's not just for show. The veena represents the harmonious power of music and speech. Think of it as Matangi's tool for tuning the universe to the right frequencies of knowledge and creativity. Not just any speech, folks. We're talking about sacred speech, the kind that unlocks the mysteries of the universe. So next time you've got writer's block or can't find the right words, maybe Matangi's got you covered. But wait, she's also seen holding a noose, goad, and a skull, a combo that would make her a hit at any edgy art gallery. The noose symbolizes control over desires, the goad represents the direction of one's energy, and the skull, well, that's a reminder of life's fleeting nature, urging us to seek deeper wisdom instead of getting lost in superficialities. Spooky and wise? Check. Matangi isn't just about quirky fashion and musical skills. She's the goddess who grants the powers of eloquence, wisdom, and artistic talent. Have an important speech, exam, or creative project? Invoke Matangi, and she might just drop some divine inspiration your way. Her powers also extend to knowledge beyond the obvious, insight into the hidden, unorthodox, and unconventional. So if you're looking to break the mold and do something new and creative, Matangi is the muse you need. Now, when it comes to relationships, Matangi doesn't exactly have a typical social circle. She's closely linked with Shiva in his Bhairava form, a fierce, boundary-defying deity. Together, they embody the wild side of spiritual life, free from the constraints of societal norms. She's also associated with Saraswati, but while Saraswati represents knowledge and purity, Matangi is all about the raw, untamed wisdom that comes from stepping outside the lines. Ready for some chanting? Here's Matangi's Beige mantra. Aim Hrim Shrim Namo Bhagavati Uchishta Chandalini Matangini Shrim Swaha. Breaking it down, Aim enhances intelligence and wisdom, Hrim represents divine power, Shrim invokes prosperity, and the whole mantra is basically like ringing the doorbell to Matangi's divine abode with a message that says, "Hey, I need some wisdom, creativity, and a little bit of that outcast energy, please." Planning to worship Matangi? Wednesday is her preferred day, probably because it's hump day and we all need a midweek creative boost. The best times are during the waxing moon phase, particularly during the evening. Offer green clothes, music, and fruits, and maybe throw in a bit of food that's, well, slightly leftover. Yes, you heard right. Matangi doesn't mind offerings that aren't 100% fresh, because she's all about embracing what others overlook. So there you have it, Matangi, goddess of wisdom, creativity, and that delightful streak of rebellion. Whether you're an artist, speaker, or just someone who's tired of playing by society's rules, Matangi's got your back. Tap into her energy, and you might find yourself coming up with the next big thing, all while keeping it cool and unconventional. Thanks for hanging out with us today. If you enjoyed this dive into divine quirkiness, smash that like button, subscribe, and may your creativity flow as freely as Matangi's wisdom. Until next time, keep questioning, keep creating, and remember, sometimes it's the outcasts who change the world. Goodbye.